this is Mei Yu and welcome to Tutorial Thursday. Today it's gonna be fun to draw an anime manga Ariana Grande with her super cute space buns. And she'll be making a heart like that with her fingers too. I'll show you how to draw her with her pretty anime eyes, cool hairdo, and her hands making that heart pose step by step. For other anime manga tutorials, you can see this playlist, and for easier drawings, check out my Fun2draw videos. I hope my different art can help your drawings and creativity in different ways. Okay, so first I have my B pencil, and I'm gonna sketch a circle like this. It doesn't have to be like a perfect circle or anything. This is just to map out the head shape. Okay, so we have a circle, and then underneath I'm gonna go in, down like that. I'm tilting it down more towards her chin. Okay, here's her chin right here. And then now I'm going to go up. So tilt up. So right now this chin area looks like a letter V. Okay, keep going. Now I'm going to curve a little bit more at the jaw and go up like this. Okay, let's make the circle a little bit bigger to fit the head shape. It's always a good idea to keep adjusting your initial sketch as you go along because some things are going to change and you may want to readjust and reposition different things. Okay, great. So now I have the basic head shape in just two different shapes. So I have the circle for the skull and then this triangular piece for the cheeks, the chin, and then the jawline. Okay, right here, let's just sketch in a basic shape for the ear, but we're not going to go into the details yet. I just want to put all the different basic shapes in first. Okay, in case we need to change the position later on. Alright, so I have that. And now for the face, she's going to be looking towards this side here. So her head will be at an angle. And this line I'm drawing now, if you're familiar with my other manga drawings, I always like to draw the middle line like this. So this helps me kind of break up the face into two halves. And because the head is tilted, this half will look bigger to us than that side. Okay, so we have the middle line, and now for a few more lines in here, let's draw another line going across. I tend to like to draw this line here for the eyebrows and for the top part of the eye, and then another one below it for the bottom part of the eye. So this line will kind of help me guide where I'm going to put the eyes later on. Okay, so once we have those, we don't actually need a circle anymore, so let's get rid of this. I'm going to readjust this line a little bit more. Alright, so now that we have a bunch of different lines in her face, let's use them to create her facial features. Okay, so starting from the middle line here, this is similar to how I drew my other anime manga Ariana Grande video, but of course because of her hairstyle and her hand pose, this one would be a little bit different. But how I start the nose is going to be pretty much the same. So we have the middle line coming down, and then from this line I want to go out as a curve, just slightly, not too long. Unless you want to give her a big nose, but I think I'll give her a cute little dainty nose for this drawing. Okay, so I have the nose like that, and let's put a little nostril right there. I'll erase this part so you guys can see the nose better. And now underneath the nose, let's leave a little gap and come down here. I'll just draw a very simple line to guide me, to show me where the mouth is going to be. So maybe right around there. If you think yours is a little bit too high or too low, you can just erase this line and readjust. Okay, so we have the mouth line, but this won't be the actual line I draw for the mouth. This is just a guideline. Okay, above, I'm going to go up here and draw a curve. So in this pose, she's kind of pursing her lips, like giving you a kiss. And let's make the lips really nice and big and full. So this is how I'm going to draw full lips. I have this curve. I'm going to come down towards the mouth guideline I drew before. Okay, I have this curve. Now I'm going the other way, coming down towards the other side of the mouth guideline. So right here, the top lip kind of looks like a sideways teardrop. And as you can see, there's a little hint of a curl just going up slightly right there. So that makes her expression look a little bit more cheerful. Okay. So once we have that, for the other bottom part, let's go down here and draw a curve like that. I erase the lines inside. Okay. So now we have big, beautiful lip shapes. But to actually make her look like she's puckering up, there's a few little lines I want to draw inside the lips. Otherwise, it might look like she just has really, really nice big lips, but it doesn't have the puckering expression. So I want to add a few more lines in here. Here's one little line that I have. And another one. So I have two little small lines right here and here. I'm not going to make them too big, just a hint of them. Okay, so that's for the upper lip. And for the lower lip, if you want to pucker up to the mirror, you can actually see that the lower lip is going to be kind of curled, and there will be like a small gap, like a space in between the middle of the two parts of the lower lip. So I want to summarize that kind of area with just another little line like that. So now it looks like she's really puckering up and her lips are really, you know, ready to give you a big kiss. Okay. So we have the lips like that. And now once I have the mouth here, I'm going to readjust this face line to make it a little bit more in line with what I have. So I'm just going to make this cheek go out a little bit more. And the chin. Okay, now I'll erase. Okay, so once we have the nose and the mouth done, let's go up into her eyes and the eyebrows. So the eyebrows will be fairly high up on the face. Now I'm actually going to draw them above this first eye line. So I'm raising it quite high, and that really opens up the expression. So it makes her look more open and more cheerful. And then this eyebrow coming around from around the corner of that side of the head. Alright, so something like that. Underneath the eyebrow, let's draw the first eye. So I'm going to leave a gap, go down maybe right around here. It doesn't have to be exactly on the guideline. These lines are just for like a guide. So just go near it, but we don't have to follow exactly. Okay, so leave a gap, and then I'm drawing the first line for the upper eyelid. Once we have this, go down a little bit more so I have a little gap, and I'm going to draw the lash line. Now this lash line I like to make very nice looking, very thick, to make her look very pretty and glamorous. And that's also a great way to really make your character's eyes pop out, because they have a lot of focus because of the darkness of this line. Okay, we'll add some eyelashes later, but right now I'm just getting in the line here. Okay, so once I have that, let's move down, all the way down towards near the bottom, and I'll draw the bottom part of the eye like that. Now there are many ways to draw anime eyes and manga eyes. If you guys like, you can take a look at my other anime manga drawings, like my other Ariana Grande drawing, or even, you know, just the basic eyes. And that'll really give you more of an idea as to how to approach the different shapes and the different details. And hopefully I hope those videos will help you make your own style of anime manga eyes. Okay, so we have this big empty space now. Let's fill it with the iris. So I'm going up here, and I'll go down like that. I'll go across here and come down on the other side like this. So she's got a really big, nice looking eye. Got to get some of the details in there. So once we have this shape, I'll go into the highlight, and for this one I'll just draw one big oval like that, maybe another smaller one underneath, and maybe another triangle coming up. There are many combinations and variations of the shapes and the numbers of highlights, so go ahead and try your own if you like, or you can just do what I did here. Okay, so once we have the highlights, I think I'll have the 3. Then let's draw the pupil, which has to go underneath the highlight. The highlight is basically just this area of reflected light that's right on the surface of the eye, and that's going to make that surface look shiny. So everything underneath, like the pupil for example, has to go underneath that. Otherwise the highlight won't look like what it's supposed to be. Alright, so we have the pupil in there. We'll do the shading later. Like that. And now for the eyelashes, let's draw maybe just a few very nice pretty ones. So I'm just forming these strokes that taper together to form dark triangle shapes. Maybe let's draw one more, like that. Okay. And then for the bottom, I'll just leave it like that. Okay, just so you guys can see the highlights more, I'll quickly shade in the pupil like this. Okay. As for the other side, basically it's the same thing, but everything is a little bit narrower and it's facing the other way. So for this line, I'm going here, like that. Actually, let's make this eyebrow a little bit longer. This side too. That adds to her expression, I think. Alright, now for the lash line, I'm beginning from out here. So basically you can say this is like one of the lashes, and then I'll extend that line. I'm coming in towards the middle of the face, keep going, and then I'll go down like this. Okay. So you can see the upper eyelids are very similar on both sides. Right, now for the lower lid, just go down, leave a gap, go down here. Alright, and then for the iris, just do the same oval-like shape inside. And because she's looking this way, so she's looking this way, her eyes are going to be, of course, slanted towards this side. And this area, I'm drawing the line that comes from the top part of the eyelid, and it just merges in towards the actual iris of the eye. Because there will be no gap. As you can see this, there may be a gap if I were to draw like a boundary for the eye right here. But this one doesn't because of the angle of the face. Okay. So that's just a little detail to help you really get that angle of the face looking right. Alright, so we have the oval shape. Let's get in the highlights. So we have the 2 above and then the 1 underneath, which is like the triangle. And now let's draw the oval pupil. I'll make it dark so you guys can see it better. Like that. Okay, now for the lashes. So just draw a few. I'll erase these guidelines in the face. Okay, so I fixed up the lines a little bit more in the face. So right now we're done the different facial features. Let's go into her hair, and then I'll show you how to draw her super cute space buns. Okay, so for the hair, I'm going to go up around the circle we did before, and I want to make lots of volume, so meaning lots of distance between the hairline and the circle we drew for the head. Let's go around, keep going, and then back down towards the ear. Alright. Actually, because she's going to have a part in her hair, like different hair is being parted on both sides, let's draw a little middle line again. So this middle line would meet up with the nose. Okay, good. So right here, the middle line of the face, if you extend that, let's go up and then just curve around and go right into the hair part. So that is where we're going to draw the part in the hair. Okay, I'm going to erase the first circle that we drew. Alright, so we have the little area for the part. Now from this area here, to make the hairline, I want to just draw a little simple sketch, like an outline of her hairline. But we're not going to keep this line because it kind of looks like she's just wearing a wig. Doesn't look too natural, but at least we get an idea of where the lines should go for the hair. Okay, so once we have this hairline sketched out, now I want to just along this line keep drawing these little short lines like that, and a few on the other side. Alright, now for those space buns. Let's plan out their location. So I'm going to draw a basic little oval-like shape right here. So here's one. And then the other one, let's go right around here, like that. I think this is such a cute addition to the other one I drew where she had her little cat ears. Okay, so we have the little space buns planned out. And now to actually make them look like hair. So, this is what I like to do. I like to just give an indication that there is some kind of band around the hair. And then these lines we drew before, let's just make them all go towards this side. Maybe make this line a little bit thicker. There we go. This one as well. Once we have these lines going in towards this shape, let's draw lines within the shape. And you have to think about the surface of the bun. It's not like just a flat piece of, a flat round piece. It actually curves around. So let's just draw maybe something like that. So the hair is going around and then back in. So these lines will have to follow the contour of the surface to make it look more realistic. Some of these lines. Okay, so we have something like that. So cute. Alright, so we have one. Now for the other side, so I'll draw the same thing so you can see like where it's curling around and then going back in. Now let's draw a bunch of these curled lines inside with more lines just going in towards the space bun. Okay, I'm going to erase the initial line we drew for the hairline. So we'll have a more natural looking hairline. There we go. Okay, so we have these little lines just generally following that hairline, but it looks more natural. Okay, I think I'm gonna make this ear go further back a little bit. Before I get into the rest of her hair, let's go down towards the body because I want to plan the body first, and then the hair, when it flows down, it'll go on top of the body. So that'll give your drawing more realism. Okay, so for the neck, I have this line coming from behind the ear, going down, and then let's draw the other side, maybe right around here. That line looks a little too long. Oh, she's like a giraffe. Okay, so let's make it a little bit more realistic. There we go. Okay, so once we have the neck, I'm going to go out and sketch a little bit of her shoulder. So it comes out like that. This shoulder will be slightly tilted up, and then the other one would be a little bit on the downside. So let's tilt that down here. It's a little bit too big. Alright, so we have the shoulders now. Excellent, and going down into the arm. Alright, now for the hair, let's go up here, right behind the little space bun on this side. Let's draw another line coming down. And the way to make your hair look like it's really natural and long and silky, not so rigid or anything, just keep your wrist loose. So try not to draw like straight or rigid lines, but just keep it loose, keep it flowing, and then your lines would look more like flowing hair. And if you can't get it right the first time, don't worry guys, just practice. It all just takes practice. Keep drawing, keep practicing, watch more of my videos, and then the more you draw, the better you'll get at it. Okay, so we have the lines here, like that, and like that. Okay, for this side, something very similar, so draw a curved line here. And now, from this part of the head, I'll draw the line coming down from behind, and then it's going to interact with this shoulder, so it'll go out a little bit. Alright, if this was just a basic head and shoulder pose, I would just finish up the rest of the hair. But because she does have this cute little pose that she's doing with her hands, let me show you an easy way to draw that step by step. Basically, I don't want to draw any hands first. I just want to draw a heart. So she's sending you her love let's draw the heart. And this heart will help us plan where all the different fingers and the different curves and the hand is going to be. So I'm using this shape as a starting point. Okay, so once we have that, now I want to draw a line. It kind of goes at an angle by this part of the heart. It goes across and then down. Okay, so just 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. The other side be something similar. So here's 1, here's 2, going across now, and 3 down. So we have this kind of really odd looking, almost like a letter M, just like that. Okay, once we have this, go into the inside part. And do that. So you can see I'm planning out the basic position of the hand. This is where the fingers are going to go, and now I'm going into the palm. Like that. Now for the thumb, we have this part of the heart, so that will guide us for the thumb. Let's draw a little curve for this part of the thumb. And then let's draw the actual thumb coming down. I don't want to make it too long, so maybe let's say right around there. And then from the other side, let's draw something similar. So I have the fingers. Let's make them a little bit longer. Okay, I have the fingers of the other hand. Now I want to draw part of this part of the hand. And then you're gonna see this part here, but because she's facing you, you're gonna actually be seeing the other side of the thumb. So that part where the thumb connects to the hand, and then draw the thumb. Now I'm going to erase the heart so you can see the pose of the hands better. Okay, so we have the basic shapes of the hands. Of course, they look a little bit blocky at the moment, but I'm going to define them and make them look more elegant. But at least we have the basic pose. Let's go into the sleeves of her, looks like a sweater, I think. So let's make it a sweater. So I'm going into the sleeves of her sweater. A little bit more like that. So we don't have to worry too much about the hand that's going into the wrist because of the sweater covering that area. Okay, excellent. Now we have the different basic shapes done. Let's go into the details. So for the fingers, first I just want to draw these little lines going across. In this pose, you're not going to see all the different fingers, and I don't want to draw all the fingers as well because it's going to make this area look really busy. So I want to simplify things, and let's just show a few fingers for each hand. So I have this one, which comes down. This will be her pinky. Let's make that a little bit longer. Okay, so I have this line, and let's go down. Like that. That's the pinky. This will be the finger next to it. Be a little bit longer. Go down like that. I'm going to make this line a little bit longer. So I'll readjust this line a bit. There we go. And then for these lines, let me make them look more graceful looking. And I'll make the sleeve a little bit slimmer. So we have these fingers. You're not going to see the first one. And now for the other side, just do the same thing. So draw these lines to start the fingers. And then for this thumb, it's looking a bit too big now that I have all the other different details drawn in. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. And now it looks more graceful. Let's make the sleeve thinner. Okay, so once we have the fingers all done, let's go back into the hair. And basically I just want to add more details by drawing lots of these flowing lines again. So just keep your wrist really light and flowy to make these soft looking lines. Okay, I'll erase the extra lines in the shoulders now. Okay, now I'm just adding a little collar in there around her neck and a small little line just to indicate the neck area. Okay, one more thing before I start inking. I'll just add a few more of these lines inside the ear to make it look like she has an inside part to her ear. Okay, now I'm going to ink this real quick. Alright, so I have my brush pen and I'll go through this drawing with my inking. If you want to see me ink in more detail, you can check out my anime manga Taylor Swift video. Okay, there's something I want to add to the eye as I'm inking. Right now I have the dark pupil and I have this really white area for the iris, but I don't want this dark contrast between the dark and the light. So this is what I'll do to blend that more. I'm going to draw a few of these lines around the iris, like that, or around the pupil. So we have this gradual shift from dark to medium and then to the light. So that makes the contrast less surprising. And I think it calms the whole look of the character too. So we have this dark, and I'm going to add a few more of these lines, so I'm leaving more gaps in the lines as I go down. And the lines will get a little bit shorter each time I go until I reach the bottom part of the eye and I don't have to shade anything, because I do want to have the lightness at the bottom. So that's very similar to how I shaded my Fun2draw character's eyes too. Okay, so we have one eye and I'll just go into the other one. Okay, so now going into the space buns, and I'm inking them and following the curves of the lines. Going down towards the body, follow the smoothness and the lightness of the lines by keeping my wrist really loose. Okay, so I have most of the hair inked, and now I'll go into the fingers and the hands. Okay, once I have the hands, I'll go into the hair again to finish it up. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please like and subscribe to support art and my Fun2draw channel, And I'll see you every week on Tutorial Thursday and Fun Friday. There you go.